Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League and your GrTwosdays Championship. We are here with the ProAm guys, the League 2 drivers for their round 4 at the Nürburgring GP circuit in Germany. So we will get this race underway, make the most of the time that we have. You know the score by now. So we've got on pole, we've got Shadow, treble sevens. So we'll just call him Shadow for this race. Great stuff from Shadow, great performance. And he has stuck it on pole. In second place, great performance from P. White as well. So it's good to see P. White up there. Canados in third. So our main pole sitter, I think, for the season so far is in third. He's been pipped to pole this time by the two guys ahead. Pablo Jr. returning to the forefront of the grid. In fourth place, fifth place, we've got Tran on Motorsport. Sixth place, we've got Paris, the second of the HKRT guys. In seventh, we have Sai. In eighth, we have Grahamid Ali. A special thank you to Grahamid for sharing the replays. Excuse me. And in ninth is Carlsberg. 10th, we have GT Mac. In 11th, we have Hoyland. And 12th, we have Vane. Just notice we've got a couple of generic liveries on the replay, which is a bit of a shame. So we will obviously be going from their names above the cars rather than looking at their liveries. But we've got a race on our hands anyway. So let's get this race underway. Patterson sounds and away they go. So Shadow taking us down into turn one. As I said in the first race, the pro race, it's a very tight technical track. Oh, what's happened to Canados there? Turn one is all kicking off already. So Canados, does he miss his braking point? He does, and he does well not to take anybody out. So we'll just we'll go on board with Canados to see what happened there. A bit of a mistake there from Canados. Either that or the guys ahead just braked really early and caught him out. They're braking there. He's gone on the inside. Oh yeah, no, he's definitely missed his braking point. Not a lot he could have done about that. Well, anybody could have done about that, but thankfully he found the clear pathway through. And he's back underway, but he is now at the back of the grid owing to that mistake, and he's going to have to battle through on Hoyland around this tight intricate section, but he's going to have to settle in behind him as we move through. Shadow takes us round in the lead. Pablo Jr. getting the move done on P. White as well, so Pablo Jr. up to second place with P. White in third. As a result of Canados' mistake early on, so Pablo looking to take absolute maximum advantage of that, and he's sent it up into second place. Toronto Motorsport just holding in fourth. That livery works really well on the NSX with the roof vent there. The Formula One Mercedes livery there with the. I think that's that be the he's number 44 on there, so I'm assuming that would be one of the last seasons Hamilton was with the team. But it does work really well with that roof scoop in red. It looks great. Fly there in a classic Golf livery in fifth. Paris in sixth. Carlsberg battling out with Grahamid Ali and Vane in seventh and eighth. And then GT Mac just in behind Grahamid Ali. Canados now past Hoyland, who's dropped off the pack. Something's happened to Hoyland. He's not had a very good opening lap. Oh, we've lost. It was a long way back. What happened to Hoyland? So he goes deep. Oh, he goes deep and gets onto the grass, and that then spins him round. Really unfortunate from Hoyland. But it's a long race, so we'll get back up with the rest of the guys. And Canados tucked in behind GT Mac now, looking to make a move down the inside into turn one, but GT Mac Oh, crikey. Cameraman needs to zoom out a little bit there, because that's... we'll have to go on board with Canados to see what happened there. Cameraman wasn't able to keep up, so into the break, and GT Mac goes sending it. He's done a Canados there, and he's come off just about got away with that, and as a result, Muhammad Ali's dropped a place, and Canados has made that place up. GT Mac holding on to his place, but more importantly, Vane, I think, held on to the track. As they're all scattered everywhere on the track. Everything kicking off with these guys all battling closely. Oh, a little bit of a tap there from Vane on the back end of Carlsberg. A little bit late on the brakes, bit of a mistake that's dropped him back into the clutches of Canados. And Sai goes a bit deep there on the brakes, and that invites Carlsberg up the inside. And Carlsberg goes up the inside of Sai, and he's now on the outside line going into the corner. He comes back across, and Canados is on the inside there now, and he's made contact with Carlsberg and goes, oh, and we've lost Canados again. Go back and have a little look at what's happened there. So Canados sees the door open. Oh, he does give him a bit of a shove. Gives Carlsberg a bit of a shove, and he's come off worse there. That's really unfortunate stuff for Canados. Rotten start to this race, but we'll see if he can battle his way back through the field. We know he's got the pace. So Shadow taking an advantage of the situation, and he's leading the way now with Pablo in second. P. White in third, just dropping off the back. Toronto Motorsport holding there, and with Paris in fifth, just behind him. Sai in sixth with Vane for company. GT Mac in eighth, with Muhammad Ali looking to find a way past. Lots of tyre squeal going on as Vane looks to try and find a way past Sai. And it looks like he's going to have the run on him as GT Mac is holding the inside line against Muhammad Ali, making sure he doesn't get that inside line into the hairpin. Vane later on the brakes, and he holds the line, and he gets that move done. So Vane up the inside of Sai, and GT Mac just holding off from Muhammad Ali. But Carlsberg now coming back at Muhammad Ali after getting back on track and getting back on his way after the grass trip that he had. And Canados and Hoyland, you can see, dropped way off the back as a result of their issues. Canados having a rotten time. He's gone deep there as well. So we're leaving to knuckle down and try and rescue his race. As Muhammad Ali has dropped off the back of GT Mac now, as Carlsberg looks setting up the inside. Muhammad Ali goes deep and just about holds on, I think. He's got the outside line as we go down into the hairpin, and Carlsberg is up the inside, but Carlsberg on the grass. Oh, Carlsberg gets a bit of a kick of oversteer, and it sends him into Muhammad Ali on the outside, and Muhammad Ali has dropped that place. Don't think Carlsberg could have done much about that other than not lose traction, which after getting onto the grass would have been a challenge, and unfortunately the contact was made. But Muhammad Ali is still going and still moving forward, so it's, at least that is something. As Vane is clearing that off now in front of Sai, and he's on up the road after Paris. Toronto Motorsport just ahead, and P. White into the pits. So P. White getting rid of those hard tyres nice and early. Done well to hold on to third on those hard tyres. Shadow on the mediums with Pablo on the soft, so Pablo is going to want to get past Shadow as soon as possible. So Vane looking to try and make progress on Paris. Paris looking to try and make progress on Toronto Motorsport. Sai there in sixth. GT Mac fending off Carlsberg. Carlsberg are going to find a way through. Muhammad Ali is dropped off the back, as we know, but he doesn't look to be gaining that time. As Canados fastest up of the race from Canados, and he's purple again by nearly 3.5 tenths. So he is on a mission, head down and trying to make that time back. And P. White has come out in front of Hoyland, who's off the back of the pack. After his first pit stop, so refueled to the max. And now out on the medium tyres. What is his strategy going to be come the end of the race? And Pablo now tucked in behind Shadow. So Pablo really making use of those soft tyres, and he dives to the inside around the fast right-hander. They're neck and neck going down towards the chicane, and Shadow recognises that Pablo is on the faster tyre, and he doesn't let it affect his... Oh no, Pablo's gone! Pablo is gone, he's spun. He's a good recovery, very theatrical there from Pablo, but absolutely rotten luck there. He was on a mission. And Toronto Motorsport diving into the pits. Vane has got through on Paris. So let's just have a little blip back, see if we can see where this happened. Vane was closing in on Paris very quickly. Paris on the mediums, Vane on the softs. And Vane coming up right underneath the rear wing now. And he sends up the inside as Paris goes deep. Paris has the inside line, but Vane goes round the outside. Great move from Vane there. Really good stuff. Nice and clean move. Great to see. Paris then looking to try and hold on to the rear wing, and then we got the yellow flag there for Pablo's spin. Looks like Pablo does hold on to second place as a result of that, but it does mean Shadow now has a really handsome lead out in front, and Pablo has got a lot of work to do if he hopes to take the race win after that incident. As GT Mac also comes into the pits, as we saw on our little scoreboard. Vane defending against Paris there. He looks like he's gone deep. So Paris is going to have a chance to come back at him now. Paris tucks up behind the rear wing. But Vane looks like he's able to hold him off as we go round the sweeping left-handers into the right-hander there, taking all that curb. And under the little overhead gantry we go. Sai then just dropping off the back. Oh, it looked like Paris had closed right in on Vane then. Yeah, and he is holding on to Vane. He's on the slower compound tyre, but Vane isn't having it all his own way after making that great move earlier on. Sai then in 5th, Carlsberg in 6th, Muhammad Ali now battling with Canados. So Canados is a man on the move. We've seen Toronto Motorsport and GT Mac go into the pits. They're out and at the back, and Canados is looking to make mincemeat of Muhammad Ali, who is on that hard compound tyre. And well, we know there is a big time difference between the two compounds, and this is evident now as Canados is looking menacing behind Muhammad Ali. He's going to have a rear wing mirror full of that GTR. Oh, again, we don't really want to be seeing that. I know this is the sort of thing that he's gone for a move, and he's just he's slammed it up the inside, and I know the argument would be that Muhammad Ali turned in, but there's not a lot that you can do in that situation. You're braking and you've got the right to the corner, you're ahead, and you just get this car appear and just slam into the side of you. It's not really what we want to be seeing. So yeah, so Carlos has made that position up. Disappointing to see him not give the position back after making that contact, but yeah, it's well, Muhammad Ali gonna have to get his head down. It was always going to happen. I think that's the hardest thing. It's always going to happen with Carlos on that soft compound tyre. Muhammad Ali clearly on a slower compounded tyre. And it would have probably just made sense to just waited for a slightly better opportunity, but it is what it is. Muhammad Ali stayed on track, and away he goes, and just trying to latch onto the back of Canados now as we move into lap 6. So Shadow comfortably out in front into the 49s, still not as fast as Canados, but bear in mind Canados on that soft compound tyre with Shadow on the medium tyre. Pablo, after that spin, dropped right off the back of Shadow, but he's managed to keep Vane at bay. Oh, it looks like we've had another pit from Yeah, so P White's been in. Oh no, P White went in early. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's just how it's panned out. So Vane in third, Perez in fourth, Sai in fifth, and Carlsberg in sixth. Canados now up to seventh as a result of that, and he's moving on up. And Muhammad Ali still persevering with those soft tyres. P White on the mediums after already having made his first stop after starting on the hard tyres. Hoyland up to 10th as a result of the pit stops from Grano Motorsport and GT Mount to get off of those, I believe, the hard compound tyres early doors. So everything's starting to spread out a little bit. Oh, Perez coming back at Vane. Let's have a little look, see how this builds up. So Vane gets the chicane a little bit wrong there by the look of that line. And Perez sees the opportunity, sends it up the inside. Nice and cleanly done. And Vane looking to try and stay with and come back, but Perez has got that move done nicely. Vane going to have the slipstream going down into turn one, the tight hairpin. Can he send one on the inside on the brakes to get that place back? He looks at it, he goes for it. He's up the inside, he's got that inside line. Great move back from Vane there. And Perez has had to yield that position, but I can't imagine he's going to lay down. And he doesn't, he comes back up the inside, he holds that inside line. As they come around the left-handers, where is Vane? Vane is now just tucked in behind. And he's going to have to yield as they go through the right. Oh, he doesn't. Perez goes deep. And Vane sends it back up the inside. They're neck and neck going into the down under the gantry into the left-hander. Perez has the inside line. And Vane goes right, carries on round the outside. And he holds on to that position. Holds on to that position well. Great battling from these two. Great stuff to watch. Clean passing and just hard, fierce racing. Great to see. And great to see Perez battling hard on those medium tyres as well. Really showing that he's got real strong pace, considering Vane is on that soft compound tyre. You'd have to say that if it looks like if Perez was on the softs, he probably would have had the edge to stay ahead in that exchange. But great stuff nevertheless from these two. Carlsberg then in fifth, just keeping an eye on proceedings up ahead, hoping for a mistake from the guys ahead. Sly just behind now with Canados right up his rear end for company as they go through the chicane. Canados is going to absolutely have a run on him. Although those tyres are looking a little bit shabby now. That front left is half worn. They're tucked in behind that rear wing of Sai, and he's going to have that slipstream. Sai now moves to the left. Canados stays on the inside. Is he going to try and do him on the brakes? He's later on the brakes and he gets up in front, but he goes deep and Sai cuts back. Sai holds on to the place. Can Canados go at the inside around the left-hander? No, he's not quite close enough. He's going to have to keep it tucked in behind, but Sai goes deep and onto the dirty track part of the track there, and that's going to lose him a bit of time through this right-hander. And Canados is going to have a run on him down into this left-hander, I think. Under braking, the cameraman is really not giving us much of this racing. Oh, Sai drops it into the grass. What on earth happened to Sai there? That looked really innocuous. It's not somewhere we see people go off, to be honest, very, very often. Just have a little look at this. He's on the curve. Oh, he's just had a kick of oversteer. And onto the gravel he goes. He's done well to keep it pointing the right way and keep those wheels spinning and not get beached. But Canados is up into 6th place and still on that mission of his. As Carlsberg now looking to put the pressure on Vane. Oh, let's go back and look at that, because that was a great battle we were watching between these two, and Vane had it in front. The Perez. Oh, Vane's gone deep. So Vane had gone deep. So let's have a little look. Same corner we've just watched Carlsberg have an instant on. And he goes into the left-hander. And yeah, he just gets the line wrong and ends up going wide on the exit. And that opens the door for Perez to come down the inside And Paris has comfortably got that, and now that's going to, as we saw, put Carlsberg right on his rear end. And Carlsberg going to be all over the back of Vane now, trying to find a way through, unless Vane can get his head down. Those softs looking a little bit treacherous, might not be giving him much grip, so that could play into Carlsberg's hands. Canados also on heavily worn softs, just monitoring what's going on with the guys ahead. Muhammad Ali now obviously threw on Sai after Sai made the mistake on the left-hander and dropped back. So Muhammad Ali still going on those hard tyres. So you'd have to think he's going hards and then mediums, one stopping. Otherwise, he's probably missed a trick there, as we saw in the Pro League. The guys making the two-stop work on the fast tyres. Sai now comes into the pits to get rid of the hard compound tyre. Vane comes into the pits to get rid of his very heavily worn softs. That promotes Canados up into 5th place, with Carlsberg in 4th, Paris up in 3rd. Looking to chase down Pablo up ahead in 2nd. Nobody able to hold a candle to Shadow around here. He seems very, very comfortable in this car around this track, and he's doing a cracking job as we come through the first third of this race. And he's got one hell of an advantage now, especially considering he's on those medium tyres as well. He can one-stop this onto the hards, I would imagine. That might well be his game. And with Pablo having to stop for hards as well, but also, well, he might go long on the hards, but he's going to lose time per lap. Paris having to stop for the hards, so they all have to stop for the hards, and Shadow has managed to give himself a massive advantage. Canados now closing in on Carlsberg. He's dropped Muhammad Ali, P. White on the back of Muhammad Ali, tucked it in behind, going down the inside. Oh no, he's not, he's going to have to just tuck him back. Oh, he is going down the inside. Muhammad Ali goes wide, and P. White is down the inside and up into 6th, having already stopped. Great stuff from P. White. He's been on the hards, he's now on the mediums. Is he going to be able to take those to the end of the race, or is he going to have to stop again? That will dictate his race, as Muhammad Ali definitely will be stopping. But Muhammad Ali may have a pit stop advantage if P. White does indeed need to stop again. Hoyland still needs to stop as well. He's up into 8th, he's in 8th as a result of the pit stops. But Toronto Motorsport having already stopped. Sai has also stopped, Vane has stopped, and GT Mac have all stopped. And they're all closing. Although it looks like we've lost GT Mac. They had a really bad lap on the previous lap. He's made a mistake somewhere, unless he's done 3 laps on the hards and come back out. I don't think he has, because he started on the hards. That'd be weird if he's done that. So I think he's made a mistake somewhere. We won't go back and have a look. We don't want to make people watch too much of that if they can help it. He's a long way off the back. He's got a lot of work to do. Carlsberg and Canados then battling it out for 4th place on the track. Canados going to be really struggling for grip on those soft tyres now. That front left is not got an awful lot of wear left. It's going to be screaming at him, but he's still making good use of it. And P. White has dropped Muhammad Ali, so Muhammad Ali on those hard tyres is starting to struggle really for pace against the guys on the faster tyres, and that could be unravelling his race. But we shall see as the laps unfold. So Pablo is now into the pits, so the first of the front runners really is now diving into the pits off of the soft tyres. That spin on lap 4, losing him a load of time, as Canados also now into the pits. Fastest lap of the race, a 49.0 from Canados. Great stuff. As they come into the pits, so these guys now start inheriting those positions up ahead. Paris Inheritance second place. A little bit of a gap back to Carlsberg in third, and then a bigger gap back to Pablo. Pablo's now stopped, so Pablo off on the soft tyres. Oh, and he's not got those temper tyres out of temperature, and he's spun again. I was just about to say, Pablo has a pit stop advantage over everyone below him. Well, not everyone below him, but, well, any of the guys that have already stopped are comfortably ahead of those. But he's made another mistake, and that has put him behind Graham and Ali, and he's on the hard tyres. So he's got a lot of work to do now. Really unfortunate stuff from Pablo, but it's racing for you. So we got Vane on those medium tyres, just coming back through the field. We're looking to try and come back through the field after stopping. Although I think Vane's had an incident as well somewhere, because he's dropped way back. Let's go and have a look, see what's happened to Vane. Unless it was just his pit stop. Yeah, it must have been just his pit stop. We'll get back up to proceedings. I think we were on a lap. Yeah, Pablo and Carlos in, and Pablo spin, and we're about here, I think. So Shadow then in the lead in first place, led from start to now, and doesn't look like relinquishing that anytime soon. Absolutely smashing it around the Nürburgring GP circuit. A great circuit, really. It's a real challenging one to get right. The flow of the racing line through the corners is so important. You move offline and you can lose so much time as the camber and the flow just gets affected. Really a real challenge for these guys to exploit the best out of these cars. And as I said in the Pro League, it's the majority of this circuit makes up part of the Nürburgring 24-hour circuit, alongside the Nordschleife circuit. So it is used yearly for a big old endurance race that Max Verstappen is racing in this weekend. Well, this weekend, as I'm recording and doing this commentary on a Saturday of Tuesday night's race a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, Max Verstappen in the Mercedes AMG racing around the Nürburgring 24 hours this weekend, exploring other avenues of racing away from Formula One, which is nice to see some of the Formula One drivers doing this. I know Alonso has had a crack at the Triple Crown with IndyCar, and Lamani won Le Mans. He's done the Monaco GP race win, and was looking for the IndyCar but couldn't quite get that done, unfortunately. So still just Graham Hill back in the 60s, who has managed to do the Triple Crown, as they call it, the Monaco GP race win, a Le Mans 24-hour win, as Carlsberg gets all the oversteer there, and he's just kept it put in the right direction. Good save, and off he goes, but could have done without that. But yeah, Graham Hill with the Le Mans win, the Monaco GP win, and the IndyCar win, give him the Triple Crown, and Alonso not able to replicate that. Max Verstappen may well try that though. Yeah, he's certainly lining up his ducks in a row to give himself those opportunities. Anyway, back to the GR2s. I could talk about Formula One all day long, but it would put people to sleep. So we'll focus on the racing at hand. So we've got Muhammad Ali there in 5th, Pablo Jr. after his couple of errors in 6th place. Carlos still battling his way back through the field. He's out in 7th place, having made his stop. He's on the hard compound tyre, so he could go to the end now. Will he go to the end? He's ahead of Sai, who's on softs. Being that he's on softs, I think he was on the hards to start with, so he will need to stop again. He won't need to stop again, but those softs are not going to last the race distance. Toronto Motorsport there in 9th, Hoyland in 10th, still yet to stop. Vane, having completed his first stop, down in 11th, really struggling to get to grips with those medium tyres. He's lost a lot of pace compared to the times he was putting in on the soft tyres. The GT Mac is down in 12th. And back up to Shadow in first place. And look at that consistency from those lap times. Medium tyres down into the high 49s on 5 and 6. And then low 50s. And you can just see the progression of the tyre wear, where he's so consistent with how he's approaching every lap, where his braking zones are, his turning points are, his apexes are. He's so consistent that you can just see that tyre degradation being shown in the lap times. And it's good to see that. That's a sign of a good performance if you can get the maximum out of those you're capable of out of the tyres lap after lap consistently. So great stuff from Shadow, and that is why he has got such a strong advantage over the rest of the field in this race. Despite the Sai's got the fastest lap of the race there on a 48.8, so Sai is exploiting those soft tyres to the best of his ability. Perez there in second place, as you can see there. So Perez on the mediums, started on the mediums, and you can see that the gap between himself and Shadow is representative in those lap times. Perez not able to replicate the same level of pace and consistency, and that is what wins you races. So Shadow, that's a bit of an early stop. I wasn't expecting that. He's still got good pace in those tyres, and he could have gone, looking at the tyre wear and the fact he still had fuel, he could have gone a lot further on those mediums. Be interested to see what he comes out on, as Perez now inherits the lead of the race, and Carlsberg will inherits second place. P. White will come through and take third. Will Shadow come out in fourth, or is Muhammad Ali looks like he's going to go through, or is he? No, Shadow comes out of the pits, and I think Muhammad Ali is going to be close. No, Muhammad Ali is not close. I got that all wrong. Muhammad Ali is a good chunk of time behind still. And Shadow holds on to fourth place, and he's on the soft. So Shadow is going to have to stop again. I don't think he's going to have a problem securing the race win, barring any mistakes, because he's had really, really good pace on those medium tyres. So it'd be great. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do on the softs. We know the soft is the tyre, a real strong tyre around here. The gulf in delta between the different compounds is quite large around here. So Shadows will likely be putting in fastest laps of the race, I would expect, after his outlap. So Graham Ali then in fifth. Canados has still not made any progress onto the back of Graham Ali, but Sai is on a mission, and he is coming at Canados now. So we got a little bit of a battle on our hands. Canados is going to have to defend. He's on the hard tyres compared to the softs on the NSX of Sai, and we are seeing that tyre delta discrepancy coming to life now as Sai is really able to put the pressure on. And can he get that move done? As they come round the fast right hand, well, not really a turn, more of a kink, into the braking zone for the chicane, and Sai just tucking in behind. He's going to be able to carry much more speed on the entry and the exit, and we got some tyre squill there. Graham and Ali's made a mistake, but we'll stay with these guys as Sai is up behind, and they're both latching onto the back. Canados going to be counting his lucky stars, really. He's going to benefit from the slipstream from Muhammad Ali, which is going to help him stay out of the clutches of Sai. Can he get the move on Muhammad Ali done into the hairpin before Sai can get past him? Because that will give him some breathing space, but no. Muhammad Ali goes deep and Sai tucks out the inside as well. The both are through. the side can get straight on after Canados without being held up by the slower Graham and Ali there on the hard tyres. The side is all over the back now and just looking for that opportunity to get through. And he's going to go around the outside. He's going to have to go around the outside if he's doing it that way. No, he's tucking up the inside, tucking up the rear, looking up the inside, but he's not going to go and make a move. He's not quite close enough. Just going to stick there with Canados and wait for the opportunity to present itself. You can barely see him when they go line astern because he is that close up the rear end of Canados. Canados goes slightly wider, side cuts it back in. Oh, a nice slap of oversteer there from Sai, and they're side by side going into the left-hander, but Canados gets across just in time to get that left-hander cut nicely and maintain the speed going through that corner without having to lift. And now Canados has got a couple of car lengths as a result, and he's got a bit of breathing space. Can he settle down and just get those hard tyres to work for him? He's going to be coming into the pits, if not this lap, the next lap, looking at his fuel level. So Sai won't know that unless the race engineers are telling him. But Sai is going to probably be released now, and he does. The Canados comes into the pits, and Sai is released to get on out the road on those soft tyres. He's going to be cursing himself really. He's going to have been held up quite badly on that lap. You can see there a full second slower on that lap compared to the times that he had been putting in. Well, even more than a second really. He down in a 48.8 for the fastest lap of the race, and that was a 51.0. So over 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap as a result of being stuck behind Canados on hard tyres. So Perez still going in the lead of this race, in first place on the medium tyre still, and he's still plucking away. Carlsberg then in second, still doing the same, but he's going to have to come in. Perez doesn't, but Carlsberg will. He's going to run out of fuel if he doesn't. P. White in third, he's already stopped. He's got rid of those hard tyres. I don't think those mediums are going to last the race distance, but you may well prove me wrong. Maybe a quick tyre change onto soft tyres, low fuel run for the rest of the race might be the order of the day for P. White. Shadow is just closing in on the back, not quite hit fastest lap of the race territory yet. He's 3.5 tenths off his personal best he did on that last lap of a 49.0. Not quite able to match size time, but it's still a strong lap time to be had. So we'll have to see what he does when he crosses the line. He'll have a bit more pace going through that chicane compared to the other drivers as he's on those softs. The exit, they hook up the grip really well on the exit of the chicane, giving you plenty of drive. He pulled a tenth back, but he's 2.5 tenths off his personal best and 4 tenths off of the fastest lap of the race. So he's probably just easing himself in. Carlsberg in the pits. And a little bit of a slow stop that. Let's go back. I think he might have had a bit of a delay choosing his tyres. Oh, maybe not. It must have been the timing as we went across to him. It did look like he was a little bit delayed. So he's taking on fuel. Graham and Ali goes through into fifth. On the hard tyres, he's still going on the hard tyres. He's gone. So this would be lap 18 on hard tyres. So he's gonna have to run softs at the end of the race. So that's not a strategy we've seen in the pros. So let's see how that unfolds. I don't think it's going to do him any favours because Shadow we know has to stop. Again, P. White, I'm not sure. It's whether he can get those tyres to the end of the race. I have my doubts. Shadow now coming up on P. White. I don't think he'll defend against Shadow, but who knows? It depends what the race engineers are telling him. But Shadow could very well make this work if he can get past P. White and get on up after Perez. We know Perez has to stop for the hard tyres. Shadow has to stop for the hard tyres, and P. White does not have to stop. So as Shadow now goes up the inside of P. White, P. White is battling back. So Shadow gonna have to go around the outside. He does. P White holds the inside of the chicane. Oh, great move from Shadow through the chicane. Let's watch that back. Make sure that was nice and clean. It looked it for me. P White breaks a bit earlier. Shadow gives him racing room. Gets the inside line of the second part. Great move from Shadow. Great stuff. Gets that move done nicely. And it's not very often you see a move through the chicane, but that was a nice clean move. And P White has had to tip his hat to that one, I think. But that's what the soft tyres can do. They give you more grip on the entry, more grip on the exit. So you can carry more speed in and get more speed going out. Side now into the pits to get rid of the soft tyres and refuel. Muhammad Ali going round for another lap on the hard tyres. That will have to be his last lap, looking at that fuel load. So he's going to have a flat out sprint to the line on a set of soft tyres. That is, well, we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. Like I said, I think P White still needs to stop. Shadow definitely still needs to stop. Perez still needs to stop. So the three guys ahead of him also need to stop. But Muhammad Ali, I think Muhammad Ali and P White will have to come out on the softs if he has to come in. Perez will be on hards. Shadow will be on hards. So Muhammad Ali will be on the faster compound tyre. So this could come into his hands to get a podium here for Muhammad Ali. We've missed a lot of the guys behind as the race has been unfolding. More action at the front. Trano Motorsport in 5th. Carlsberg and Pablo Jr. battling. Pablo at the inside of Carlsberg. He holds the inside line, but Carlsberg's going to have the inside for the next phase. Pablo Jr. coming on the cutback, but he's going to be on the outside, going into the left-hander. Is he? He's tucked in behind. Carlsberg goes right. Pablo goes inside. Pablo yields. He has to get on the brakes and avoid the contact to the rear. That's what we should be doing. Looking at the door, going for it, recognizing when that door is going to be closed, hitting the brakes, and then living the fight another day. And that is exactly what Pablo has done as he's lined it up, going down the inside of the right-hander. Great move from Pablo up the inside of Carlsberg on the right-hander. And he gets that move done, utilising the camber of that corner to his advantage. And away he goes. Great stuff from Pablo. Great move on that medium tyre. And he says, put it up in the 6th place after his earlier mistakes. And he'll be chuffed with that. But that's a nice clean bit of racing there. That's what we want to see. So we got Perez in. And as I thought, P White has had to come in for a fresh set of boots. And P White won't be putting on much fuel. I'd be surprised if he's putting on a bit. He's going for a hammer. He's going for hammer time, is P White. He's put on enough fuel, but he's come out in 2nd place. So we know Shadow has to come in to pit. He's got a good advantage. He's got a good few turns advantage there. So Shadow will have to come and pit on the hards. He's going to have a fast moving P White on the softs coming behind. Perez is probably not going to be a threat on those hard tyres. So he's going to be looking to try and secure 3rd place. Where's Muhammad Ali in the pits? So Muhammad Ali in the pits. Soft tyres for Muhammad Ali and half a tank of fuel. So is he going to be able to scythe through the field on those fast tyres? And who else is going to need to stop? That is the question. It's all bunching up a little bit. You can see on the mini-map, everybody's sort of within a few turns of each other as the strategies start to unfold. Shadow then, well out in front of P White, but P White is on that fast tire. I misjudged that. The Shadow has to stop again, and P White is on that fast soft tyre going to the end of the race with half a tank of fuel, so he doesn't have to fuel save or anything. And Shadow's race win here is under threat. So I think Shadow may have dropped a ball on the strategy. He's going to be coming in to do a minimum of 3 laps on the hard compound tyre, but he hasn't been able to get these soft tyres to light up in his favour. The lap times haven't flowed for him. He seemed to be much quicker on the medium tyre. Really unfortunate as things stand. That is unravelling a little bit for him. Oh, hang on. I misjudged. There is a bigger gap than I thought. So I was looking at the mini map, and it looks like, yeah, so Hoyland has been lapped by Shadow. That's where the confusion was. I was looking at the mini map and getting myself confused. So yeah, so it still could. Sorry, I take that back. Shadow still could have this in his hands. Paris dropping off the back of P White now, as P White is making good use of those softs. Pablo up into fourth, but he does not have to stop again, remember? So Pablo got that move done, and he is up into fourth. Sai in fifth. Now on the medium tyres, having had his little soft stint. Hard compound tyres for Carlsberg to the end of the race. Vane has come back through, he's in seventh. Canados in eighth on the hard tyres, but it looks like Graham Ali is going to have the measure of him. He's closed right in on the back. Granal Motorsport in 10th, also on the soft tyre, but he's a long way off the back. It looks like he's had a rough time of it. And GT Mac coming out on soft tyres as well, about to be lapped by Shadow. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way. We don't want to see any ruining of races going on. He's obviously got a few turns before he's on the back. Hoyland into the pits for a final stop. So now we wait to see when Shadow comes in to put on the hard tyres. Whether P White, fastest lap of the race for P White at 48.4. P White is on a mission. He wants this race win, and he's well on his way to making a claim for it. As Perez then in third place. Just trying to solidify that third. He might even get a second depending on where Shadow comes out on the hard tyres. And Perez's tyres will be up to temperature as well. So that's going to be an interesting one as things unfold. Pablo is... I think Pablo should be... Oh no, sorry, I nearly missed the boat. Pablo and Sai battling out for fourth and fifth. Sai, we know he's got pace. He held the fastest lap of the race on the soft tyres for a while until P. White has just taken it from him. So this could be a bit of a battle for Pablo to try and keep Sai behind him. And remember, I think Shadow is well out in front. So I don't think, even with a stop for hard tyres and maybe a splash of fuel, I don't think Shadow is going to be relinquishing a podium spot, barring a mistake. So Sai is now having to work hard to try and find a way past Pablo, and Carlsberg on the hard tyre dropping back. Vane on the medium tyre will be coming at Carlsberg, you would think. As Graham Ali now looking to try and find a way past Canados. He still hasn't. He has now. He's up the inside. They're side by side going down. Oh, Graham Ali obviously rolls out of the throttle to make sure he can take this left-hander as fast out as possible. Giving him a run on him down into the next left-hander potentially. Canados is having to defend for all his might. Graham Ali right up the rear end of him, all over the bumper, almost stuck to him like glue there. And now he's got a run. He's got a run on him down the straight. He's pulled out the slipstream early. He's sending it up the inside on the fast right-hand kink. Can he outbrake him? Canados holds on to the inside line. Graham Ali goes for the cutback. Canados still on the inside. Graham Ali goes around the outside. Great move from Graham Ali. Gets the move done in the chicane. Great stuff. Great to see these overtakes going in the chicane. Great to see some great clean racing. Fantastic stuff from these guys. Showing us how it's done. Great to see. Brilliant stuff from Graham Ali. He's got, what's that, 6 laps to make progress up through the field. He's a long way back really from Vane. But Vane on those heavily worn mediums is going to be hemorrhaging time. So Graham Ali with clear air in front of him should now start eating into that and making his way up through the field. Sai then still not able to put a move on Pablo Jr. And it looks like he has dropped back a little bit. Pablo with a 50.3 last time around. Sai with a 50.4, so a 10th. So not a lot, but he is. We haven't seen what this lap is. Although it does look a little bit closer now as Sai is still menacing in Pablo's rear view mirror. A little bit of a lull now as we come towards the conclusion. We got Sai still trying to eke into that. Let's have a look at the lap times between Sai and Pablo Jr. as they cross the line. So Pablo Jr. crossed the line with a 50.6. Sai now in the slipstream with a 50.2. So there we go, 4/10 out of Pablo in that last lap, and Sai has now got a run on him down into the first turn into the hairpin. Pablo goes deep, so Sai's going to have the cutback. Pablo's going to have the inside line into the left-hander. Pablo holds that inside line. Sai looking around the outside. He backs off a little bit. Or does he? No, he's still trying to go around the outside. But he's now going to have the tight cutback. But he's going to have the outside line going into the rounder. Pablo defends brilliantly. Sai now on the cutback, but he's still going to be on the outside around the left-hander. Great defensive driving from Pablo. Can he hold on around the left-hander? No, Sai goes round the outside and on the brakes, gets him done a slap of oversteer. He just holds on and Pablo has had to settle in behind. Can Pablo come back at him, or is that sign still delivered? It's yours for Sai. And we've got Shadow into the pits. So Shadow into the pits at the end of lap 24. I think he could have gone another lap, but where is P White? Where is P White? The P White coming down towards the hairpin. This is going to be, I think P White's going to do it. I think he's going to do it. If he don't do it in the pit, over the pits, I think he'll do it over the next lap or two. He's on those soft tyres. Shadow comes out of the pits. Shadow is out of the pits. Into the braking zone goes P White for the hairpin. He's got a little bit of time to make up, but this is going to be a battle to the end. Look at those lap times from P White. Smashing every single lap in the 48. He wants this race win. What can he do? Shadow has got he's got a bit of a gap. What can P White do over the course of the next few laps? Is that tyre degradation going to be costing him time that he can't make up, or is the difference in delta between the two tyre compounds, hards and softs, even with worn softs, gonna be big enough that P White can make that count? And well, as Murray Walker famously once said, catching up is one thing, getting past is quite another. Perez still holding on to third, Sai in fourth, comfortably ahead of Pablo now. He looks like he's broken Pablo's spirit. Really stoic defending from Pablo, but unfortunately Sai has had the measure of him. Carlsberg in sixth, all on his own. Muhammad Ali Vane has made a mistake, I think. Oh no, Vane has gone into the pits. He still hadn't had the hard tyres. So Muhammad Ali has got clean air, but I don't think he's making enough progress on those soft tyres to get up to Carlsberg. Still, with the qualifying Muhammad Ali had, still a great performance, getting up through the field and also beating Canados as things stand. And we know how quick Canados is and can be, even though he had a rotten bit of luck early on in the race. As Hoyland just staying out of the way of everyone as they go through. Oh, P White already. So that last lap, so Shadow's out lap was a 158.4. P White another in the 49s, 49.8. And you can see in one lap that gap has come down. What can P White do? We'll stay with these guys now until the end of this race, as this is going to be a battle right the way through to the end. I can see it now. I don't think P White is going to have, once he gets onto the back of Shadow, that tyre, those tyres are going to be very heavily worn as he is approaching, and that is going to be costing him some grip. And Shadow is on fresh hard tyres, which is, they're still going to be giving him something, and they're going to be warmed up, and I don't think Shadow is going to roll over and let that go. So P White now onto the back of Shadow. We have, well, what do we have? We've got 2 and a bit laps remaining. What can P White do? Can he take this race win? We thought Shadow had this sewn up. We thought he had this in the bag, but P White has quietly gone about his business, pitted early for softs, did the mandatory 3 laps on the softs at the beginning of the race, raced a nice solid consistent medium stint on in the middle, and now he's finishing strong on the softs. He's tucked in behind Shadow. Shadow takes the inside line, takes defensive line, into the chicane. He holds his line, but does he? He gets all the oversteer. PY is on the inside as they're coming down into the final turn, and PY has got the move done into the final turn off the exit of the chicane, and those soft tyres proving their worth, and Shadow's going to come back in. Shadow is in the slipstream. He's not going to let this go. Which way are they going to go? Shadow goes to the inside. PY stays on the racing line. Shadow on the hard tyres is going to have to bear that in mind going into the turn, but he takes the inside line. PY is going to have the inside for the next left. Can he hold on? He does, just about. Can Shadow cut back? Shadow's still tucked in behind, but I think that might be the battle done. The war has been waged, and I think PY has taken the spoils of victory. And really unfortunate for Shadow, led from the start of the race to this now on lap 27, the penultimate lap of the race. The PY strategy coming good in the end, and he has absolutely smashed it. Got through, and PY well on his way now to his race victory, barring any mistakes. This race, well, unless those tyres fall off the cliff, this race looks to be PY's. Paris then holding on for third place. We've got Hoyland just staying out of the way. Paris has held on for third. Dive fast approaching on the mediums, but Paris just getting enough out of those hard tyres. Pablo holding on for fifth. Carlsberg in sixth. Muhammad Ali in seventh. I don't think he's going to have a go at Carlsberg. I think that is done. I don't think Muhammad Ali has exploited those soft tyres enough. Canados a lonely eighth. China Motorsport down in 9th, 10th is a Vane, and GT Mac in 11th, and Hoyland at the back of the pack in 12th. So PY crossed the start finish line to start the final lap of the race. Can he hold on? Can he keep Shadow at bay? Will those tyres hold on? Has he got enough fuel? All these questions will be answered in just under 2 minutes time, as Shadow looks to have just decided to just secure second place. Valuable points for his championship. He's been performing well so far, and he's been doing a great job in the races up to, well, including this one. I know PY has absolutely smashed the strategy, but no taking away from Shadow. The performance from Shadow, especially earlier on that medium stint, has absolutely set up his race. And he can be very pleased with what he's done today. Just a shame he couldn't put the cherry on top of that cake. I think great stuff from Perez. A shout out to Perez there. If he can hold off size on those mediums, it looks like he will. Perez for a podium position. Good stuff from Perez. Early battles with Vane, and did well in those, and you know, just great consistent lap times. So, well, to a point, not quite as consistent as the two guys at front. They've been in a league of their own, as you can see. So, as we come down towards the final go round at the chicane, PY comfortable lead over Shadow now, and he is going to be taking the checkered flag and the race win. Maximum points for PY, and also the fastest lap point, unless somebody snatches it from him in the closing stage of this race. And he comes around the final turn, across the start finish line to take the checkered flag, and a great win from PY. Shadow crosses the line in second. Great stuff from these guys, as Perez comes through the chicane for the final time to take the final spot on the podium. Third place for Perez. Round the final turn, and he takes the checkered flag. He takes the flag there for third place. Sly crosses the line in fourth. Pablo Jr. coming round the final turn to take fifth place. Good recovery after his couple of spins. Carlsberg now coming round for sixth place, with Muhammad Ali just off the back of him in seventh. We're not going to have time to see everyone cross the line. Canada's just coming round as well. But all that remains for me to say, with Toronto Motorsport coming across as well for ninth. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week for GR Tuesdays.